What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Lord of the Lost. Yes, indeed, Lord of the Lost fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Loci, and Loci wanted to see me react to this song by Lord of the Lost called Letters to Home. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it. Yeah, this sounds familiar. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Melzu. All one word, M-E-L-L-Z-U. Why not? We'll just run with it. And the video has 72,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? 'Cause here we go. All right, here we go. Lord of the Lost, Letters to Home, lyric video. Well, we know how those lyric videos are. Sometimes lyrics are actually in the video, and sometimes they're just listed down in the video description, and all points in between. I guess we'll have to wait and see how this one goes. What? 1847. Seriously? 18 minutes and 47 seconds. All right. I never would have expected that from this man. Okay, look. You know how I feel about long songs, guys. If it's well written, well constructed, it's engaging, it's got a nice feel, nice groove, it sounds good, I'm entertained, the time's flying by, it's got nothing to worry about. On the flip side, if it's not particularly well written or well constructed, if I'm bored, if I'm not entertained, if it just keeps dragging on and on and on, and the time is just dragging to a complete halt, then I'm going to absolutely tear it to shreds. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how this goes, I guess. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
E, D, 8. Okay.
It was a sunny day when you learned to stand up, so proud and oh so brave.
Yeah.
You made those tiny steps right into my arms the day I went away. They said I had to leave for glory and for peace, for honor and for boon. It won't be long until our enemies are back.
They count.
They take me back home soon.
It's kind of weird.
Say goodbye, but not farewell, my little boy. Say goodbye, and don't you cry, my little boy. It was a sunny day when I learned to stand up, so fearful and afraid. I held you in my arms, so warm and so alive, the day I went away. They said I had to leave for glory and for peace, for honor and for boon. It won't be long until our enemies are bent.
A little bit.
Take me back home soon.
Trying to get a little fuller.
Your picture in my heart will give me will and strength and help me to hold out.
Staying on E.
I'll save the world for you, my little boy. I'll save the world for you. The winds of darkness
Changed it.
will take me away. On wings of blankness, I'm going astray.
D, F sharp. To where?
On wings of blankness, I'm going astray.
Just no. D to F sharp to C? No, that can't be right. D, 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 D. Wait a minute, I think it is. I think it's D to F sharp to C. That's weird. Let me check on that. Hold on, just 1 second. We'll find this out.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All right, back. Got my 6-string Corvette here. Standard tuning. I think that's what they're in. I'm almost positive they're in standard tuning. So the question is D to F sharp to C. I think that's what it is. Let's see if I can. Let's go back.
On wings of
Okay, so it is standard tuning.
I'm going.
It is. Wow. It's D to F sharp to C. we're still in the key of B minor. G sharp, J sharp minor. No, actually, B minor would be D major. That'd be Dorian then. That's why it sounds so weird. If we're in B minor, the natural major would be D major. With that flat 7, making it Dorian. That is odd. I mean, okay, here's the thing. Excuse me while I put that away. Is it odd? Yes, it definitely sounds odd. Not at all what you would expect, especially from a chordal progression standpoint. It's not at all what you would expect it to be. But here's the thing. Is it well written? Is it well constructed? Yes, it is. It makes perfect sense. From a theory standpoint, it makes perfect sense. If you're gonna go the Dorian route, that'd be the way to do it. I dig it. I actually kind of dig it. Unexpected. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to put that. It's unexpected. Not especially since we from the D to the F sharp. Okay, hypothetically, forget Dorian for a second. Where would we go with that progression? Because considering the fact that maybe to the 5th, maybe to the A, that might have made a little more sense. Maybe using the words making more sense, maybe that's not the right thing. More expected. Maybe that might make a little more, yeah. So A, so B minor, so we got to the D major, to the C, so don't, D to the F sharp. Yeah, that actually would be more expected. But instead, they go from the C, A to the C. It's cool. Like I said, I am not knocking it in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually finding it kind of fascinating. Why decide to go the Dorian route there? I mean, it's totally fine. Totally fine. I'm just a little taken back by it. The unexpectedness of it. It sounds good though. It does sound good. Let's keep going here.
I'm going under, I'm losing my way.
The E. B to the F sharp. And then going down C to E. Okay, so we're playing thirds. D to the F sharp. There's a major third. Go down to C up to E. There's another major third. So we're playing around with major thirds. Got it. Okay. Now it's making more sense. Okay. All right. Okay. Changing up direction. Changing tempo, changing feel, changing everything. sharp down to A sharp. A, B, wow. I like that triple feel. Chut, 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 chut. Yeah.
Do you sometimes think of me? Do you remember me standing at your side when you learn to squeak? I'm with you all the time, although you couldn't see. My heart was there when you learned to speak.
Halftime feel like that. That sex couplet being thrown in there. So actually, it's just be straight triplets for halftime feel. It'd be triplets, not sex couplets. I'm having a good time with this. It's challenging. It's keeping me on my toes, that's for sure.
I won't give all the world to hear your sweet voice again. I won't give all the world to hear you say your own name. Maybe I can leave. Maybe they let me go right into your arms. I might be coming home. It might be over now, but I already feel the calm before the storm.
Playing with thirds again, but we modulated. Okay, yeah. Double time. See how I can be down. Brand new section. New pattern. So changing up the tempo makes sense. Hey, that's okay. where's it gonna go from here?
I feel so cold.
That makes sense.
But still, I'm able to feel.
Okay. Everything that has happened so far up to this point has made sense. Transitions have made sense. Changes in feel have made sense. Changes in tempo. Like when we went into that interlude section, they changed everything. They changed the tempo. They modulated. They changed the feel. It became something completely different. But it was necessary because it was an interlude. And it led right. And the reason I'm saying it was an interlude, it went from that one section, that double time feel, bam, 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 snare on 1, 2, 3, 4, on all 4 downbeats, really pushing. And then we hit that interlude. And then we went right back to that same section again. So that interlude was there to create kind of a gap and give you a chance to catch your breath and breathe a little bit before we went right back into that section again. That's fine. I got no problem with that. It makes sense to put that interlude in there. Everything, like that's the same thing can be said for everything that we've heard up to this point. Everything they've done has made sense. Everything they've done has sounded good. Everything they've done has had a reason behind it, has had a purpose behind it. So I'm liking everything I'm hearing. Having said that, 12:19, if I'm being honest, it does feel a little slower than that. It is dragging a little bit. I'm enjoying it, yes. I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm seeing as far as where we're going with direction and such, but it is feeling a little long, if I'm being honest. It does feel a little longer than, like, it says 12:19. It feels like we're at about 13.5 to 14, somewhere in there. So, I am enjoying it. I'm not thrilled with it, but I am enjoying it. Let's get back into this. Maybe things will pick up. We still got another 6.5 minutes to go. So let's see.
I see no colors, but still I'm able to see. I feel like floating, but I am still in my shoes. My feet will carry me right back to you.
Right back to the BDAE. Photo progression again. Yeah, BDAE.
It was a sunny day,
Just like the beginning.
when I learned to stand up with scars and broken bones. I made those tiny steps back into your arms, that you won't be alone. I can't wait to see you smile, your little heartbeat next to mine, and kiss away your tears. The skyline feels like home, I can smell the scent of flowers so well known. Now I can see you from afar.
It's
Look
growing.
how tall you are. Will you remember who I am? I'm calling out your name, but you don't seem to hear. I'm calling out your name again. Now I stand in front of you. You look straight through me like air. I'm reaching out my hand.
Growing, it's growing.
Now
More
I can
voices.
see your smile standing up and run into the arms of this strange man. The winds of darkness will take me away.
I had a feeling we were going to come back to this.
On wings
C to
of
F sharp. Now we drop down a step, new root, C, up third again, E, yep, and back to C.
I'm going under, I'm losing my way. I'm freely falling, I'm going astray.
Oh, don't you dare. Okay. We are getting resolution. Well, that scared that scared me, boy. I heard that dissonant chord. Bah! And I was like, no, don't you dare end like that. Come on. And I was so glad to see that they resolved. It was a creative way of resolving with that music box voicing. That was creative. I'm glad they did. I'm glad they resolved. Oh boy. Dodged the ball on that one. Okay. 1847. No. Didn't feel like it. No, it did not. This is going to be interesting. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Lord of the Lost with Letters to Home. This was a request from Lokai. Okay, I thought about it. I've got a score. I'm going to do my best to keep this as short as I possibly can because I know we've already been here I'm going to take a guess. We've probably already been here for about 30 minutes, probably more. So I'm going to do my best to keep this as short as we can, guys. I really am going to try to keep this as quick as possible, but at the same time, there's some explanation that's going to be needed for this score that I'm going to give, because I'm sure a lot of people already have a score in their heads as far as, you know, what they think I'm going to give, and I can guarantee you a lot of those people are way off. I'm not even gonna try to sugarcoat it. It's not even close, I'm sure. Let's get to the score and we'll go from there. And like I said, I'll do my best to keep it short. On a scale of 1 to 10, taking everything into account, I'm gonna give that an 8.2. Yep, 8.2. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.2, what does that mean? Well, an 8.2 would translate to a great scale rating. So overall, I think this is a great song. It would also get 4 out of 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.2, great scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be outraged by the fact that, oh, how dare I gave this masterpiece an 8.2. You know, this deserves a 10. Okay, well, first of all, for those individuals who believe that this deserves a 10, clearly you have not been watching this channel for any amount of time. You know I don't believe in perfection. I believe that things can always be improved upon. Things can always be made better. You can always strive and reach for that next level. So, for those of you saying this deserves a 10, just do me a favor and save yourself the time and save me the time. Don't bother putting that in the comments, guys. Seriously. I'm gonna ignore it. And there's gonna be other people who are like, oh, this deserves a 9.8. This deserves a 9.7. While that is certainly your opinion, you're absolutely entitled to it. Let me explain how I got an 8.2 out of this, and maybe it might make sense to you, but I don't know. We'll see. The song writing. Okay, look, the songwriting and the song arranging, I'm gonna kind of lump these together. Everything they played, everything that was written, every chordal progression made sense. Everything sounded good. Everything flowed well. Everything lined up. Okay, so, and everything was there for a reason. I get everything that was there, absolutely without question. And I'm not disagreeing with anything that happened within the songwriting or within the arranging. I appreciated when they would increase the number of voices, giving it that growth. It was nice. I kind of wish they would do that a little more frequently. Like in the beginning, they did the exact opposite. They started out here, and then they started pulling voices out, and it started coming. I was like, wait. Don't you want to grow? Why are you taking out? But then when they came back in for the next section, it went from here, you know, it was here, and then it went down to here, and then it jumped up to here. A little sudden, a little abrupt, but I get it. They did that for effect. They were trying to, you know, jostle the listeners awake because quite possibly a few people fell asleep during that coming down section. I get it. I absolutely get it. The playing with thirds, I appreciated that. That was nice, you know. The D to the F sharp, drop it from down, you modulate down from the D, down to the C, from the C up to E, there's another major third, and then resolve from the E to the D again. I listen, lots of bands have used that riff before. It threw me for a loop because I didn't hear the E at first. Like the first couple times they went through it, I wasn't catching the E. I heard the D to the F sharp to the C, and I'm like, okay, they're going to Dorian for a resolution before they go back to the root. That's interesting. I mean, here's the thing. From a theory standpoint, it makes sense. It sounds good. It was just a little unexpected. Later on, when I heard the third, I heard the E, and I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. They're playing with thirds. D to F sharp, drop down a step, C to E. There's your other third jump. And then wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay, fine. I get it. I understand that. It makes sense. I missed it the first time. Like I said, there was that one section where they were going that double time, you know, snare on every downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was pushing and it was pushing. Then we went to this interlude. Okay. Why the interlude? That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Why an interlude here? Oh, we're going right back to where we left off. Okay, I get that now. Now that makes sense. You see, everything they did made sense. Everything they did lined up. Everything they did had reason and had purpose. Having said that, 1847, 1846, 1847, something like that, unfortunately, it didn't feel like that. It felt, well, by the time we were done, honestly, I was kind of worn out. It felt like about 22 minutes, if I'm being honest. It dragged. It definitely dragged. Now, was that due to a songwriting error, or was that down to a feel error? I don't think it was songwriting. Nothing that they did, none of the sections that they did ever really dragged on, other than some of those verses. Some of those verses did drag on a little bit. But for the most part, overall, nothing really dragged from a songwriting standpoint. Nothing felt too long as far as individual parts. The entire sum of the song just kind of dragged. And I'm going to put that down to feel more than anything else. It just, like, there were a couple of points where the song pushed and the song got energized. The song was like, oh, okay, we got some life. Whether it be from a tempo standpoint or from a growth standpoint, meaning we had growth within either dynamic or we had voicings added in or anything that would make the song sound fuller and bigger and more exciting. But unfortunately, there was a lot of places in this song where it was very, very sparse. It was like literally vocals and piano, and that was it. Listen, I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm sure for the purpose of the song, the theme of the song, maybe the lyrics, the story that's being told, maybe there's a reason for that, okay? It's very possible. But again, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know I do not take lyrics into account because, quite frankly, lyrics go right over my head. It's not that I don't care about lyrics, I just don't get them. I don't interpret them well. I don't understand them. That's where I lack. So I focus on songwriting, I focus on composition, I focus on arranging. That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm strong at. And like I said, there was just some parts where it just dragged as a whole. Looking at the song as a whole, it just kind of dragged. So, this is one of those songs where, at least for me personally, would I listen to this again? I would be down to listen to this again, but I would really have to be in the mood for it. Like, I would have to be in the mood for a song like this. Background music, filler music, while I'm sitting here answering, comments for 2 to 3 hours like I do every day. Put that on in the background and listen to it while I'm working. I can absolutely see that. Will it go on any of my normal playlists? No. I'm sorry, but no. It just goes on for too long. It doesn't have that drive and energy that I love to have. So it won't make any playlists, but it's still a great song overall. I mean, looking at the musicianship, looking at the vocal work, I love the fact that they did play around with feel a little bit, and there were a couple of places where we had that 3 against the 4. I did appreciate that, but as a whole, not something I would normally enjoy listening to on a regular basis. Like, I could never listen to this song every day. I just couldn't do it. Maybe once a month I might put this on as background music while I'm working, but that's about all I could probably stomach it. But looking at the song objectively, though, it is a great song. It was well conceived. I will absolutely give it that. Well thought out, well organized, well designed. And that's why I'm giving it the great score of 8.2, honestly. I like I said, will I ever listen to this song again? Not anytime in the near future, but, ask me in a month. Maybe I'll say I did. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But in any case, let's wrap this lap. Yeah, let's just, my mouth is just not working right now. Let's wrap this up in a nice shiny bow, shall we, before I make a bigger fool of myself than I already have. We have an 8.2, which is a great skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.